Hi, I'm Johnny. I'm a global artist ambassador for Fenix360, and I'm blessed to be joined today by the reggae artist Milton Blake. Hey, Milton, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm great. I'm great. I'm great, brother Johnny. It's a pleasure being with you today, also, man.
Big
I
up,
really didn't
man.
anticipate this moment, and it's now here.
I know. Listen,
Yeah,
blessings. It's great to have you here. And listen, I'm also sharing, Milton, and learning about you as an artist, but also sharing some of your music with our audience. So if it's cool with you, okay, if we tune into your track, Rub a Dub Style?
sure. Give it
Cool.
to the audience.
All right. Thanks, Milton. All right, everybody, let's tune in now to Milton Blake with Rub a Dub Style.
Oh, so much men over yassa, and the women them alone over there, sir. It's time to hit the dance floor. We need to hear more rubber dub music in the dance again, because the vibe is locking. What's going on? Select a play more Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaac and some Milton Blake. We need to hear more songs that grooving all night long, so everyone can hold their partner and dance all night. The sweet reggae music make them lock so tight. No one now fuss, no one now fight. Oh, what a vibe. DJ hold the mic and I say him king. Drop a big tune, pan a one drop rhythm. Everyone a sing along to the song that playing. What a joyful scene. Many songs them a play nowadays, them no have no taste. Just bringing bad vibration amongst everyone. We need to hear more songs from the heart with the drum and bass that keep you skanky all night long, so everyone can hold their partner and dance all night. The sweet reggae music make them lock so tight. No one now fuss, no one now fight. Oh, what a vibe. DJ hold the mic and I say him ting. Drop a big tune, pan a one drop rhythm. Everyone a sing along to the song that playing. What a joyful scene. We need back with rubber dub style, yeah. In the dance hall, we need back with rubber dub style, yeah. Can't make it fall. Play some more Delroy Wilson. Play some more Sanchez. Play some more Barry Salmon. Janot Sugar Minot and Frankie Paul, yes. So
Milton, beautiful, man. Great to share your music with everybody. Thank you. Now, listen, can you
Thank you
tell
very
me?
much, too.
You're welcome. Listen, where are you from originally, and how do you get involved in becoming a musical artist?
Yes, well, as I say, first and foremost, I must say also greetings to my listeners out there in Media Land. Yeah,
Mhm.
and again, Mr. Johnny, big up yourself.
Thank you.
Yes, well, I'm from the island of Jamaica, Jamaica, the reggae land, the
Yes.
land of Bob Marley and all the other greats. Yes, and
Big
I'm
one
from
there.
the parish of St. Catherine,
Uh-huh.
that is adjacent to Kingston. Many people might know a popularity of Kingston,
Of
but that's
course.
parish adjacent to Kingston. Yeah, in a district called Central Village. Yes, yes, near to Spanish Town and so forth. And that's where I'm from. I attend the St. Catherine High School, which is in the same parish. And well, I got involved in music. Let's say, we all grew up in the church.
Right.
I grew up as an Adventist. My grandma, I must tell you this, Johnny, and the
Yep.
public listening now. I was brought up by my grandmother, you
Mhm.
know, and you don't know, growing up with grandmother, very strict. Strict.
No
She was very
question.
strict. Yeah, you got to be disciplined. And I'm from an Advent home where Sabbath keeping from Friday afternoon, Friday night is, Saturday evening. So I have to go. I grew up in the church, you know, grew up in the church there. I usually sing on the choir and all that. So being in the church, singing on choir and all that, and in the community, there was a community-based sound system by the name of Runatone Hi-Fi. So after I grew up, you're growing up into your manhood now, you can get out the house at your free will.
Yes.
I say my heart and my desire was always to go and sing on the mic and all that. So I got the opportunity to do that. So that's where the music developed with me, from in the community, where I was brought up. Yeah, and I started to sing on the community-based system. And from there on now, I say, well, I think I want to record a song, So after that, I started to move along to Kingston, the capital, Kingston, where the action is, to try to find me a producer. Well, what you asked also, my inspiration came from the greats, Dennis Brown is really my idol. There was songs I love to sing, like sitting there watching, fooled by themselves. This song, beautiful song by Dennis Brown, man, I'm telling you. And stop your fussing and fighting, brother. That was one of my favorite Dennis Brown songs as a young man growing up.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So after I said in the community, singing on the community-based sound system, went into Kingston trying to find the producers, from studios to studios, here and there.
Sure.
That's where, and then we got to get the opportunity now to start record. I did my first recording for a man named Dwight Pinkney, the great guitarist. He's very famous, Dwight Pinkney. Yeah, he gonna play with the Roots Radic Band. Yes, a very famous reggae band also, Roots Radic Band. Yeah, I did a song called, I remember that song. I always remember that song. It's called He Lives, on a various artists album that he released. Beautiful. Yes. And from there on now, I went on to record for my community-based label. There was a brother in my community, they by the name of Enfield. They had this label, and they named the label Enfield also. And I recorded a song for him called Thank You, two songs, Thank You, and another song called Mr. Government. Mr. Government. When I recorded these songs, I started to get even popular now, because this song was rotating on the airwaves, You're
getting some radio play. Yeah.
Yes, it started to play on the airwave now, so but things started to build up, so I was in that catbird scene. Then I have to tell you this. The famous Luciano came to live in my community during that time also. And before he got big, huge, he was called Stepper John. So we gotta ride our bicycle. Ride our bicycle. Yeah, to Kingston, from where we live in our community, Central Village, to Kingston, going to studio on a daily basis,
Right.
And yeah, and you know what happened? He got big by singing. He sung this song, "Shake It Up Tonight," for Freddie McGregor. Produced that song also. Yeah, that was a #1 song. It was that song, the sing over song that he did, and it went #1. And from that, it took off big. But anyway, back to me now. Being in after these 2 songs released, and I started to get popular. I started to do a lot of shows now, round up the islands of Jamaica, round around the island of Jamaica. And then after, you still have to go back to Luciano, because Luciano got huge. Then we have this team together now with me, Luciano, Mikey General, another brother named Culture Man. It was a whole team of us. So that's when I started to travel now, being around Luciano. I get the break now to start to go overseas. Then we started to go, I went on a tour with him. Yeah. And that was, I think it was 2012, something like that year, in the United States. And then, I started to travel back and forth now, and doing shows here and there in the Highland, the United States and all that. As things start to propel, and I usually, as I must tell the public that and you also, Sir John, I'm a great carpenter. That's my skill. That's my trade. You know. So
Craft.
yeah, that's my craft. So after my name started to get huge in the music now, I put down my tool them now. Come and say yeah. The music I go feed me now. You know.
Right.
So as I said, yeah, I started to travel and doing shows here and there and thing, and went back home and and yeah, a long way. That's the beginning, and now I started out, and I've been around the greats like Dean Fraser, because I learned a lot from Dean Fraser.
Dean Fraser, sure.
Yeah, the maestro. Because even when Luciano was doing his album for VP, Dean Fraser was the man who do all the coordination and the arrangements and all that. He's the man who take care of that. So being around Dean now, I learned a lot.
I bet.
Yeah, I learned a lot about how to put a production together properly, and all that. And so even now, even few of the songs that I've sent you is me who they're recorded right here, right in this room I'm talking to. This is my studio room.
Yeah.
They're recorded right here. I do some of the mixing, I arrange, I write, arrange, I do some of the mixing on most of these songs that you're listening to with me.
That's beautiful, Milton, man.
Even rubber dub style.
Yeah, rub it up style too. Hey,
Yes.
there's so much that listening to you, I think it's really fortunate that your grandma was kind of tough, strict, and you know what I mean, kept you directed into, learning and studying music and then performing in church. I can see that was really kind of an inspiring way to begin. But then you start to gravitate to what it is your heart really wants to travel into, which is reggae and foundation music, right? And then to have the courage to go out there and find yourself a producer and put your chin out. And there's so much talent and competition with artists and among to get the space and the attention to be able to be supported. So to your credit, and your talent and capability, is great that you've had these mentors, other dynamic artists and producers to help establish you, bro.
Yes.
This is a real blessing, man.
Yeah, man. I give thanks for them. I give thanks, for being, Luciano, who is there. As I said, with being around him, I get the access to, go places, meet people, and developed.
Exposure,
as I say, exposure,
experience, right?
It's very good. I really appreciate of that, and I appreciate him for that and all that.
It's priceless, man. And it's great to be mentored and be brought under the wing. And now, you're doing the same thing for others, man. And so it's all a give and take kind of, exchange. And that's beautiful. So let me ask this question then, Milton. After becoming a seasoned artist, traveling around the world, entertaining, working on new music, what's the current focus? What are you working on now?
Well, right now I'm working on an album titled Misguided Desire, which is strictly lovers rock. I decided to cover the lovers rock album now.
Romantic stuff.
I'm full of roots, I'm really roots. As you can listen to my stuff, your roots music. Then I give a little version of what you call it, One Drop. My Fen album, which was released recently in April, is a one drop style with some old time rhythm that I remake, and all that. And then you have Temporary Obstacle, which was released in November 2019, just before the COVID. That's deep roots, strictly roots, dub style. If you listen to that album, that album is produced by the legendary Lloyd Pico Dennis. Yes, based in London. And you have some great musicians on that album. You have Mafia and Fluxy. You have the said Roots Radic Band. Great musicians. And very good, beautiful project. Temporary Obstacles. Excellent. And as I said, Fend, which was released recently, is produced by me also. And that's one is produced by me. And I do, as I told you before, I did most of the work on that myself. Arrange and all that. And
Mhm.
Yeah, all my songs though are really written by me, and this room give me a lot of inspiration, man. Johnny, I don't know if I leave out of this room, I'm telling you, those songs that you're listening to, those 2 albums I tell you about, all those songs were written right in this room.
Yeah, channeled, man. You know what I mean? You're channeling
Yeah,
that energy and that spirit through, it's excellent, man. I
this
love
room is a sanctuary, man. This room have so much. Whenever you see this headphone,
sanctuary.
whenever I put on this headphone
Uh-huh.
and the beat started to go through this headphone, and I hold that pen in my hand, man, it's like a miracle, man.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, it's man. Sometimes when I finish write some songs, I have to say, is you really right there?
Right.
To the inspiration just flow and it just come natural. Because writing a song to me is it's just simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
that's
just natural.
maybe as actually, as you mature and ripen too, it becomes even, you become more open and, and more inspiration comes to you.
Comes to right.
And,
That's
and,
true.
and I think it's because there's a spiritual maturity that's been taking place as you age and gain experience. Just have access, I think, more to the other realms and inspirations that
Hmm.
may come from them. So that's
Yes,
that's a blessing too, man. And
man. I'm telling you, whew.
yeah, and you're in the driver's seat there in that studio, huh? So I tell you,
Woo.
let me ask this question. If people are going to connect with you and access some of the tracks that you mentioned, as well as be able to connect to you on social, how can they do that, Milton? How can they connect with you?
Yes, well, as you know, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. You can check out some of my song on Bandcamp,
Uh-huh.
and all the major platforms.
All the digital platforms, you're there. Cool.
All the major digital platform you can find Milton Blake. So
We are
to make
also
it
looking
simple,
forward
Johnny,
to you coming up to Fenix360 as well,
and
Milton.
I'm gonna be on
I know,
Fenix
man.
360 for
Because
sure.
we want the fans there to be able to connect with you and have Fenix360 be an extension of your digital energies that people can link with, man. So we are looking forward to that. And I want everyone to tune into the social media links that you find below our interview today for Milton Blake and look for that rise coming up on Fenix360. And thanks, brother.
Yes.
It's so good to learn and hear about influences you've had, locations you've been, inspirations that come, and also your music that you've shared. Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome, Sir Johnny. Bless up yourself and the
Yeah.
rest of the crew. And to all my fans and who are just hearing about me, bless. One love. Peace.
Indeed. Respect, brother. My
Bye.
pleasure. You take
Bye,
care,
sir.
Milton.
You
There
too,
you go.
sir. Bless.
Respect to the promoter, bartenders, securities, and everyone in the place. This is Milton Blake. I know tonight we're gonna have a good time. The songs that play, there's no room for feeling uptight. No, no, no. The sound it got the vibe, the selector got the spice and knows what you all need. The way you wanna feel inside here, filled with love. Couples kiss and hug, and they are dancing to their favorite music. They can't refuse it. I can't believe it's almost dawn when I'm just getting my groove on, waiting for my favorite song. And now that it plays on, I'm standing in the middle of the lawn, steady rocking on and on and on and on.